Hey, best friends. I'm Claire.
I'm Yana.
Welcome to
My Best Friend's Book Club.
We have a new book. And if you're new to our podcast, we are a non-traditional book club because we are funny.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
It's not quite.
But it's true.
I've heard
we think highly of ourselves.
I've heard a lot of people say, oh, a book club podcast? That sounds very serious. That sounds very literary. And like, while we obviously are literary women, we're very funny about it.
I wouldn't call us literary women.
I'm going to call us
Yeah?
I'm going to call us literary women.
I would just call us women.
The other thing that makes us super cool is that we're a book club for non-readers because we summarize books for you because we know life is hard and reading is hard sometimes
Have you ever been invited to a book club but you don't know how to read?
But you can drink wine and talk to everyone, and that's great too. But because we're also literary women, we're also a book club for readers. If you'd like to, you can read along with us. Just check out our reader calendar on
My BF Book Club on Instagram.
And
on TikTok with a underscore that I don't know how to use because I don't use TikTok.
We are currently reading Sociopath, a memoir by
Patric, Gagne.
And this book has been super interesting so far.
I'm super into it.
Me too.
I wanted to keep going.
Me too. But before we get into that, I just want to touch on a piece of book news. We've seen some books come to the big screen lately. We saw The Housemaid and Wuthering Heights, and recently Project Hail Mary. And I just wanted to say, for those of you who are in doubt, I saw Project Hail Mary, and I cried a lot.
And Claire doesn't usually really have feelings.
I don't cry often, and it was really good. It's not like the perfect translation, but I feel like it's worthy. It was good. I liked it. Like when I watched Lord of the Rings, I was like, you did it, Peter, you know? And I don't like Ryan Gosling either. He bothers me, but I liked him.
Ryan Gosling, if you're listening to this and you want to join our book club, even if you can't read, we can do this with you.
But also sponsor us first and
For
then
sure.
read what we're reading.
Yeah, also Rachel McAdams, if you're listening, she's really great.
I love her.
She's so good.
She's so pretty. I can't handle her. Okay, if you know what we do here, we read a chunk of pages each week, and then we go into discussion.
And if you're not familiar with what we do, why the hell haven't you tuned in yet?
Yeah, tap that 5-star like you don't know who you are. Thank you.
And you need to be better.
So, Yana, tell us about the first 50 pages of Sociopath.
Yeah. This book, I was trying to really write my summary more in like chronological order. The book is really like chapters that are still broken up, at least for now, by childhood kind of memories that do jump around a little bit. So I found myself like taking notes and then I'd be like, wait, this is like continuation of what happened 2 chapters ago. And so I'm doing my best.
You're going to do great.
Thank you.
We're all so proud of you.
Thank you. We meet Patric. She looks like any of us. May on the outside, but on the inside, she is the sociopath, and she's practically absent of all feelings like guilt and empathy. And she explains that as a child, she would act out as a way to really feel anything. Like she would get just these urges of uncomfortableness and just doing some things that people would assume she's a hooligan for doing. She's just doing not because she's trying to be bad, but just because she like needs to let this feeling out.
Yeah, she talks about relieving pressure, which I have in discussion. I found that to be very interesting.
So she's writing this book to show how a sociopath isn't who we necessarily always expect it to be. And right now, they're not really recognized or treated medically. So here's a quote. I'm a criminal without a record. I'm a master of disguise. I've never been caught. I've rarely been sorry. I am friendly. I'm responsible. I'm invisible. And I blend right in. I'm a 21st century sociopath. And I've written this book because I know I'm not alone. Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. A criminal without a record.
I like that she wrote this book because it's a lot of things that I never thought about. And like also I personally can't say that I relate, but it's caused a lot of inner thoughts and feelings. And it's also like I think she says at one point there's like 15 million sociopaths in the world or something. I hope I got that right.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's a lot.
I know, it had me thinking.
It's also like the misconception, I think, too, because every freaking like serial killer or true crime episode you hear, it's like, oh, well, they're a sociopath, and it's a very negative connotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also like sociopath versus psychopath.
I thought that people were just like tomato.
Oh, potato.
It's not like the same thing.
Let's call the whole thing off. I thought it was different.
It's differently?
Be interesting to look up the difference. So the book starts off with her childhood. She is sneaking into neighbor homes. She's stealing. She's lying. She's lacking compassion for her classmates. She's walking out of slumber parties, starting to be thought of as weird by her friends. She's locking the annoying neighbor kids outside and unable to feel remorse for anything she's doing. And none of it is done with any ill intent. She just does it.
I think that's the most interesting part. Like when she talks about walking on a slumber party because she's just like done and she's like, I don't want to slumber here. She's
very like black-white thinking. Like it's just one way or the other.
And she's not like being any way about it. She's just like, I'm done with this and I want to go home actually.
And I only live like 2 blocks away, so why not?
And she just rolls up to her house and her mom is like, I'm sorry. What?
And she takes things very literally.
Yes.
So if her mom says like, if you don't like it here, you can come home at any time, because in her mom's non-sociopath literal brain, she's just thinking, call me and I'll come get you.
Right.
But in Patric's brain, she's like, Mom said I can come home whenever I want, so I'm just going to walk over there even though it's dark.
Away, so who cares?
I mean, really, I feel like I felt for her so much of these first 55 pages because I'm like, this poor girl, she's doing everything the way she thinks is right with literally no ill intent. She's like, I'm trying to be the perfect person. You're telling me.
Yeah, dude. The stuff with her mom, which I'm sure you'll get into, like that. And it really opened up my mind and helped me think about this from other perspectives. And I felt a lot for her, especially with the relationship with her mom.
Yeah, she loves her mom so much.
She loves her mom so much.
Her so much.
I hope it works out. I don't know where it's going to go with mom, but I really hope it works out.
And she confesses constantly to her mom because her mom tells her she needs to be honest. And so she does confess, but she gets in trouble for confessing. So it's like, it's this really, I feel like it was interesting because it made me kind of like step back a little bit and think about the words we use in day-to-day life and how a lot of the times, like the words we say literally don't go with the actions. The whole thing of like her mom being like, you have to be honest. You have to tell me the truth because that's the only way like I'll be able to help you or keep you safe or whatever. So Patric's like, here you go. Here's all the bad things I did. And then her mom's like, you're terrible. And then cries. Like, right. It's like hard to. Yeah.
I have this in discussion too.
I'm sure you do.
I want to talk to you about behaviors you've observed or relationships similar if you have any, but we'll get into it.
So she even at one point jams a pencil into the side of another child's head. That was the first time she really,
so intense.
I know, but this is the first time she actually really hurt someone. A lot of the time she was doing things not because they're ill-intended, but there were no actual like hurt people by it. She wasn't hurting animals or hurting people, but this time she really hurt someone and it felt good. And she confessed to her mom like she always does, but this time her mom was just too upset with her. And then Patric kind of turns into hurting herself as well. We don't hear a lot more about that yet, but she started, she like
grazed over. Yeah. That part was so hard because like, can you imagine your child did that? Like, oh, wow. And
feels no remorse.
Right. Your kid's just like, I never liked her and she was being annoying anyway. And so I just, it's like you can feel for both people in this story, but it's also just like, it's such interesting perspectives.
But during this same time, Patric's parents' marriage is struggling and her mom is becoming really depressed. And after the pencil stabbing incident, her mom is retreating even more. Her mom packs up Patric and her little sister, and they move to Florida to grandma without dad. Bye. Nobody needed dad. But
he sounded terrible.
Mom is refusing, though, to be honest about what's happening to their family, which is very confusing for Patric, who's constantly told that you have to be honest.
Right. She's so literal.
And not only is it confusing for her, but it's frustrating because she knows her mom is not disclosing the truth or not telling the whole story. So Patric gets a new pet named Baby. And Baby is a ferret who's honestly very perfect for her because apparently ferrets are tiny little thieves. So Patric was kind of thriving with the fact that she had this little creature to steal for her. And she's obsessed with this ferret, like truly the way we are with our dog. She's obsessed. But when Baby dies, she has no reaction. She knows she's supposed to be sad. She's jealous that like her sister's sad about it. She wants those emotions so bad. She like goes to the bathroom and tries to make herself cry about it. But then that's kind of it. She's just like, okay, it's dead. Moving on. I have another quote.
It's so interesting.
Ready for my other quote?
Yeah, I'm so ready for your quotes.
I could hear my sister crying. I could imagine the waves of grief. It's just that I wasn't standing in the ocean with them. It wasn't so much that I was lacking the feeling as it was that I was separated from it, like my reflection in the door. I could see my emotions, but I wasn't connected to them. That's my chest.
It's like, I can't relate because, like, if my dog died, I feel like I would be, like, so visibly, incredibly a mess. People would have to come pick me up off the floor, take me to the sun if it's not sunny, and then you would just have to like make sure I eat and drink water because I'd be like, I'm dying too now. So I can't relate, but it was also like, I'm sure you're gonna get into it, but she does end up having a reaction, but it's like a reaction suitable for her.
Well, that's the thing is a lot of this, it's like everyone wants her to be like the social norm.
Right.
And when she does the thing that's the best she could do,
it's not enough. Yeah. I felt so much for her, like, reading this. And her mom stuff, I can't.
So, Mom! So everything for her is just so factual. She can't understand why she would get in trouble for telling the truth when, like, she's told to tell the truth. And she works so hard to please her mom, doing everything the way she thinks would make her mom happy. But it's not enough because it's not the way a, quote, normal person would act. When her mom buries Baby without Patric being there, Patric's at school and her mom took her sister out of school.
This was mean.
She acts like she kind of did it on purpose to provoke Patric. Patric freaks out.
Yeah.
She calls her mom a liar and throws a glass pitcher at the wall behind her mom. I have another quote.
Oh my goodness.
Enough was enough. I was done with it. Bad behavior, good behavior, honesty, lies, none of it mattered. Everything got me in trouble. From now on, I was going to do what I wanted.
Amen.
But I mean, that piece of none of it matters. No matter whether she does the right thing or the wrong thing, she's in trouble no matter what. So why fucking bother?
She's just like not having the reactions that people feel is standard. So she can't win.
She can't figure out what is the thing that she's actually supposed to do. It's all just too confusing. So she's just going to live her life. She's going to do what feels right in the moment. And that's it. So she gets into a massive fight with her mom, swearing at her for the first time, telling her she's a liar who commands truth from everyone else. She says she would rather be dead than to be like her mom. And her mom calls her a nightmare. And before this, her mom is like her go-to comfort, cozy spot. She loves her mom.
Yeah. And she says she's like her North Star. Like if her mom's upset by something, then she feels like she should also be upset by something. So like she used mom as like a barometer, it seems.
And she tries to punish her mom by even going and taking her prized ruby earrings that were an heirloom of her grandmother's. She flushes them down the toilet, though we later learn in the book that the toilet didn't fully flush, so she was able to discover them a little while later and collect them before her mom ever found out. And we don't know yet what kind of happens after that.
I was relieved, honestly.
Yep. I know. I mean, it's so sad. It's the grandmother's. And then while they're living in Florida, her mom sets up a visit to the local prison where the mom's brother's a guard. And it's obviously to show Patric what could kind of become of her if she continues to do bad things. And that's where Patric hears the word sociopath for the very first time. There's also kind of in these chapters, one of the stories told is like a little random kidnapping attempt where
the fear.
Yeah, she's like lured about fear. Yeah, she's lured going towards a van because there's kittens, and her sister is like freaking out about it, knows it's the wrong thing to do. She comes really, I know. She comes really close to getting kidnapped. It's like a full on, this is exactly what your parents tell you not to do.
Yeah, she says she doesn't feel fear. So when the guy approaches them, she's like, what's your problem, sister? Like, you said he had kittens, so I'm going to the van, obviously.
But then her lack of fear also ends up saving her because she has no fears, so she can kind of...
When she figured it out.
She can, like, she fought back with her words. You know, she just, like, she thought it through without having the panic that a lot of us would feel internally and having that, like, noise in your head of, like, is this the right thing or is this the right, like, what should I do? She's just, like, thinking very clearly because she doesn't really care which way it happens, kind of thing. That was the first time that she learned that fear is also important. You know, I think before that she was kind of in this, like, it's so nice that I don't live my life in fear while all of them are like,
right.
Ooh. But this is the first time where she was like, oh, fear can also protect people.
Yeah. Useful feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was so nervous for her when she was like, I didn't give a shit. I was like, no.
I mean, this is, I mean, I tried to really summarize it without giving like everything away, but just kind of trying to paint a picture of this relationship she's having with her mom who's struggling of like, I have this daughter that I don't know how to parent because she doesn't care. She doesn't care about punishment. You know, if you have this kid who like does not care about consequences at all, how do you parent?
Well, and you were saying though, this ties back to the prison visit.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's imagining herself too. Like, what if I lived here? But she doesn't care.
And then she's like, am I like them?
Yeah.
Because he said that they're sociopaths and they don't have fear or remorse and they feel good when they do bad things. So she's like, am I them?
Yeah.
I think there's going to be more on that.
Yeah, she's definitely like relating to them. I mean, I think right now, at least in the book, she doesn't want to do bad things, right? Like she's not trying to hurt anyone.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's a struggle for her. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels
We're
like...
still so early in the book.
Yeah, like when she stabs the school kid in the head, she describes it as like euphoric.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's never felt anything so wonderful. And she talks about it a lot. How like, you know, when she does things to quote unquote relieve the pressure, these are like, you know, not great things. That like helps. But when she stabs Sid in the head with the pencil, she was like, holy shit. Like, that was the best feeling I've ever had in my entire life. Honestly, it kind of scares me a little bit. But I think, she, you know, she's young and she's growing up. I'm sure we'll learn more about this. But it sounds like she figured out how to get a hold of some of those.
Well, I think the book started too, like, she's married and has kids.
Yeah, and
so,
she's like, I'm
she
your
obviously
neighbor.
turns out, she turns out to, you know, live a fairly, like, quote unquote, again, normal kind of life and blend in.
Isn't she like a therapist and like a
she has like
professor?
a PhD.
Like, or at some point in her life?
Her Instagram bio is literally writer, doctor, sociopath.
Good for her.
Right? I mean, it is cool that she just she's
put it
like,
out there.
Yeah, because how many people would be like, oh, hi, I'm Yana and I'm a sociopath.
When you were reading it, she talks a lot about like, hey, if you picked up this book, you probably feel the same way I do. So it kind of seemed like maybe her purpose of the book, or part of it, is like, hey, you're not alone, other sociopaths in the world. I wonder if she thought like people who don't identify or medically are diagnosed as a sociopath also read the book, right?
Well, I don't know. I kind of think like, you know, what if in our own little ways, like we're some of the young Patric, where like... I'm just living my life thinking like I'm doing things how I think is acceptable.
Yes.
Like I don't, you know, that's like, right? Like I might not know that. I should take a little sociopath quiz.
You know, this is what I had partly in discussion. Like, as I was reading it, I was thinking about certain things I've observed in people close to me where I'm like, hey, that sounds like some characteristics of sociopath. Did you have anything like that?
Absolutely. You know who I would think of.
Can you share without revealing identity?
Well, I mean, I think I don't know if I have felt the like overall lack of empathy, but there's definitely been situations within those relationships where it's also like you just, right, like you just, I don't think necessarily this is a bad, evil person.
No.
It's just like, they don't know what they're doing.
I feel like there's a struggle within them as well, though. She talks about how she calls it a stressful existence. There's a quote here. She says, "The stress of living without natural access to feeling is believed to be one of the causes of compulsive acts of violence and destructive behavior." and as I was reading it, I was like, I would be stressed too, right? Like she talks about how the ferret dies and she can't like reach her emotions,
but she knows what they're supposed to be.
Right, because her sister's doing it and quote unquote everyone's doing it. And clearly her mom disapproves of that moment and all of her actions. And I feel like that must be very stressful, right? So I was thinking about that quote, like this stressful existence kind of thing. I just felt like such push and pull as I was reading it, where I felt such empathy.
Totally.
But I also was like, if it's Patric who says she lacks empathy, but she's just stressed. She's just like in a tornado of stress because she can't have the quote unquote reaction that you want her to have.
But at the same time, she like feels no stress.
Right,
it's like
exactly.
it's like in her brain, but not her body. The way like, but then she has these moments where she's like, I need to get this feeling out.
Right.
But like the empathy
too.
I felt for her, for like, I mean, we've all had moments in life, right, where we don't fit in and we know it. And she's just like constantly not fitting into anyone. She doesn't fit in with her family. She doesn't fit in at school. She doesn't fit in the neighborhood. And then I felt so much empathy for her mom, who's like, I felt empathy for her mom, who's like, I literally don't know what's wrong with my child. I also really quickly looked up the difference between sociopath and psychopath.
Well, tell us.
While they both have antisocial personality disorder, psychopaths are calculated. They're calculated, they're charming, and they're emotionally cold.
So like Ted Bundy.
Yes.
Okay.
And sociopaths are more impulsive and erratic and emotionally reactive, often trauma-driven and environmental. So, I mean, it sounds like psychopaths are trying to do harm. You know, they're the ones who are like hurting animals and, you know, they're calculated. Like
she's fighting some of these impulses that she has and she doesn't want to do some of them.
Psychopaths are calm and manipulative, often charming to hide their lack of empathy. So serial killers, Ted Bundy. Sociopaths are more likely to have kind of trouble maintaining stable relationships and jobs. And psychopaths are methodical and really plan out their evil actions.
That's so scary.
I know. But sociopaths don't consider consequences because they don't have that emotion of like worry about this. And so they act on impulse.
There's a part of me that's like, that must be so liberating. But they probably don't even know it's liberating because they've never been held down by those sorts of feelings of shame and guilt and fear and blah, blah. But it's like there's no perfect existence because even this is very stressful. And it sounds like she feels the stress of the people around her and the people she cares about, specifically her mom. Like she can't please her mom.
She cares about pleasing her mom while at the same time not having really any empathy for her. But it looks like, I mean, the similarity that sociopaths and psychopaths have, other than that antisocial kind of behavior, is just that they cannot form genuine emotional attachments and they lack empathy.
It's like the empathy thing.
And I mean, remorse. Yeah. She knows what she's doing is frowned upon by other people. But in the moment, she's like, but I just did that. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I am so intrigued by her talking about this pressure that continues to build. It's like something is happening where pressure just keeps and keeps building and she has to have some kind of release. And the way she goes about it is generally like harmless. If anything, it's more harm to her. Like she sneaks out in the middle of the night, you know, like that's dangerous for a kid to do, or breaking into people's houses and steal people's stuff. But those things relieve her pressure. Yeah. But I was like, do you ever feel pressure building within you to do something? Like, it just sounded like such a unique experience and like way of life. Like, and that stressed me out. I feel like I would do the same thing. I'd be like, I gotta.
But can you imagine raising a child who has zero fear?
No, that would freak me out.
I know.
Not because,
but, I mean, we all
I worry for them.
Totally. I mean, I would be worried, like, the impulse, right? Like, you stand on a cliff, like, she's not thinking, what if, you know, I shouldn't take a step forward? You know, she's just leaving sleepovers in the middle of the night. Like, I don't feel like I could ever sleep peacefully. Your kid could just, like, walk out the door even of your house. Like, she just has no worry for her own safety or like no logical kind of thinking about what could happen, right? The guy says there's kittens in my truck and she's like, okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's the stuff that would really freak me out because you want all your kids to know like stranger danger. Don't be out at 1 o'clock in the morning in the neighborhood because bad things happen.
Don't go to abandoned houses just to sit there and like read your books and play with your ferret.
I grew up in the desert, so I also think about like animals coming to attack you. So it's not just people, but her. Yeah, man. I mean, I felt for her mom, but I also felt for her because I mean, they're just so kind of at odds with each other. And I really hope that they find a way to understand each other. I hope that's where the story goes.
Well, it looks like neither sociopath or psychopath are actual like official diagnoses in the DSM-5.
What does that mean though? Like, how do we...
Yeah, they're not formal diagnoses. They're instead classified under antisocial personality disorder. The official diagnosis requires a pervasive pattern of disregard for the right of others, but they're not in the DSM because the DSM has moved away from using the term psychopathy to focus on observable concrete behaviors like criminal acts and impulsivity rather than personality traits, which are difficult to measure.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, people really use the psychopath and sociopath term interchangeably.
Yeah. I mean, not like, but like that's what I kind of felt too, but I'm understanding it's different. I understand it's different.
It sounds like psychopath is genetics, sociopath is environmental.
So Patric's is environmental according to this?
Yeah.
I don't know, though, because, like, she has a little sister who is in the same environment and doesn't display.
You have very different behaviors than some of your family.
That's true. Actually,
me too.
Like, she does talk about a spectrum of sociopath. And she said, like, they're all around you. They're in more places than you think. And I was like, I can think of a few people in my life.
Well, I mean, I think of things like autism spectrum disorder, where we all have, like, a little piece of it.
Dinosaurs.
That's Claire's new hyperfixation right now.
I love the Netflix
She watched
special.
the Netflix Steven Spielberg dinosaurs, and I've heard a lot of facts today about dinosaurs. I also got some text messages over the weekend, and we are in true special interest category.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about dinosaurs. But give me some dinosaurs, though. I'll take them.
But I feel like...
Have you seen the laptop with the dog? That's all just do on my desk. I have a special interest right now.
Yes, you do. So I just feel like, you know, I don't think I'm a sociopath based on the personality quizzes I took online real quick. But I also feel like I've had moments where I have felt
Do you mind sharing?
I mean, I feel a lot more remorse and empathy for animals than I do for people.
I'm not sure that counts.
No?
I feel like you, of all people, have no traits. Like, you are one of the most...
Oh my God, say more.
...empathetic people I've ever met, and, like, very nurturing.
If you're single and beautiful, call me.
You're always, like... You're very, like, in tune with your emotions and your sadness, you know?
So what you're saying is I'm depressed.
Like,
you're
a very empathetic person. I
don't think... Sometimes I worry that I'm not empathetic.
I think that's probably because you're too empathetic.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm just like a crazy bitch.
No, you're always worried. Like, what if...
That's my anxiety.
Yeah, but you're worried about the feelings and actions of others. Or
mostly how I've impacted them.
Exactly. How you have done... You're empathetic and aware.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay, you heard it here first. I'm not a sociopath. Claire, though.
I don't think I
Honestly,
have any
I feel like I'm more
traits.
psychopath than sociopath because I will do things purposefully.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about was her when she stabs the kid at school, Sid, in the head with the pencil. And she talks about this is an unmatched feeling. This is euphoric. This sounds like when you did drugs for the first time and you're like...
Which I've never done, Mom.
Me either. when you got wine drunk for the first time.
Which I've also never done, Mom.
Me either. And you're like, wow.
That's what we assume people feel.
Awesome. Like,
yeah.
And that made me nervous. I don't know where the story's going to go.
Because you get like a high, you want to continue.
Right, but I could see how you could pivot and not be like Patric, and you could go down a darker path where you're like, I need to capture this euphoria all the time now.
Just stab constantly with pencils.
I mean, maybe it's not pencils. Maybe
totally.
the action
it goes from there.
escalates,
it feels good and you want more.
That makes me nervous. I don't think she goes this way, but like, there's a lot of people out there.
But I think that's part of what they're saying is like the difference between the psychopath and sociopath. Like, she felt that euphoria, but she knows that this is the wrong thing to do.
She's like fighting it.
No, I know. Yeah, she's like, that felt really good, but that's bad that this feels good.
Yeah.
Where I think a psychopath would be like, more.
And then with her mom's reaction to her stabbing the kid, she's more upset that her mom's upset because she just really wants her mom.
Loves her mom.
She loves her mom so much.
That's like the mom and the sister are like the main, and the ferret.
Baby.
Like, baby. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Mom says, because you're not sorry. Not really. Not in your heart. Then she looked at me as if I was a stranger. It paralyzed me, that look. Like that moment just like fucking broke everything between them. It really felt like that was a pivotal moment where like it busted their relationship, where Mom was like, you've snuck out a bunch. You've stole so many things. You lie about all these things. You're lacking empathy with the ferret that died. Mm-hmm. And then
the friends you've locked out, the friends you've locked into bathrooms, everything.
And then she stabs the kid, and the mom is like, it was like the last
breaking
straw.
point for Mom too. It felt for her though too. Or she's just like, I don't know how to do this. I mean, I'm trying to put myself. I mean, I don't have kids other than my dog who I did birth, but I'm trying to put myself in the mom's shoes of like, it must feel the same kind of to both of them of like I don't know this person on the other side. I don't know how to relate to them. I don't know how to talk to them.
It's like your child though.
I know. And so, I mean, I feel for the mom who's like crying in her room because she just doesn't get it. Yeah, she's sobbing. And, you know, to add to the struggle, like right now she's a single parent going through this. Like she doesn't really have the support. But for Patric, she doesn't fit in anywhere. So if she can't fit into her family, she's got nothing.
It's like the only thing she cares about is like her mom. Like she doesn't care.
She also says she's obsessed with her sister and like was so happy. She says she loves Harlow. Is that her name?
Yeah, Harlow.
She's
such a cute name.
I know, such a cute name. Such a Reese Witherspoon type name.
I love that. That's so true.
Reese Witherspoon or Reese without her spoon?
Reese sponsor us. Spoon.
Spoon or no spoon. Sponsor us.
Well, and I thought like, I understood where Mom came from when the whole thing with Baby, the ferret that died, where she took Harlow out of school to bury the ferret, to have like a little ceremony, but then she left Patric in the school. Yeah. Like, I get why she did that, but then I also like very much see Patric's perspective where she was like, that was my pet, that was my ferret, that was my baby. She related to the ferret because it stole too, you know? And I think a part of the mom really thought that Patric didn't care because Patric's reaction.
But Mom admitted to later, trying to be petty about it.
Because two things can be true at the same time, right? I think she truly was like, well, she didn't cry. She didn't have quote unquote normal emotions. So she doesn't care that much.
Meanwhile, Harlow's losing her shit upset.
Exactly. And it wasn't even her baby ferret. But it's like she did it to see if she could get a reaction
She's
out
like,
of her. Which is not cool. Like, you shouldn't do that.
It's not cool, but I can kind of see the,
That's
like, I'm just trying to see any, she's like poking it to see if there's any sort of reaction. I feel like you almost hope for a reaction, right? Like, because if she had come home and she'd be like, all right, whatever, you buried my ferret. Yeah. That's also confusing and scary too. Like, you're poking the bear and no reaction either. But I think this reaction is also very confusing, right? Like, you didn't act like you cared, at least the way we as a society think one should act. Like, her mom right now, part of this relationship break is her mom doesn't know what the hell is going on with Patric. And if this was more recognized by society, if this was more diagnosed medically, right? Like, if her mom had an answer of like, this isn't on purpose, this is like a mental thing, this is just how she is, then the mom maybe necessarily wouldn't be reactive in the way she is with this. But like, right, like this is an unknown for mom.
Yeah.
And if mom had a reason behind it and could say like, okay, like this, she's not stabbing kids on purpose. She's not locking kids in on purpose. You know, she's not throwing a glass pitcher on me.
Did stab a kid on purpose.
No, I mean, she stabbed him on purpose, but in like an impulse reaction. It sounded like it. Like, right, she had that buildup of feeling that she needed to release. It's the pressure.
That's what makes
she can't control it.
That's what makes me anxious is like, where is that coming from? Like, where's the pressure buildup coming from?
And how does that work later on? Like when you're older and driving a car,
like how
and you have that feeling of like, I'm just going to run that person over.
Yeah, like I'm so stressed about this pressure buildup. It sounds like she finds a way to sort of manage
She must.
it,
She's a PhD and an author and has a family.
But to what you were saying, like there does seem like there needs to be some normalization of these other types of, I don't know, would you call them personalities or ways of being?
I guess.
Because, you know, she's not Ted Bundy, right? She doesn't sound like she's going to be Ted Bundy.
She doesn't wish ill to people either. I wonder
if she does anything more violent beyond stabbing someone with a pencil. I'm so curious how she comes to manage that pressure build and the desire to do bad things to release the pressure. That must be so hard to figure out. How do you manage that? Maybe as you grow, it goes away. I don't know. But more than anything, I just want her and her mom to be okay.
For sure.
I hope that's where this goes. I hope that's what Patric wants to. But I guess we'll find out.
I want to listen to her episode of Armchair Expert. If you haven't checked out her Instagram, go look it up.
I need to do that.
Patric Gagne, writer, doctor, sociopath. Find me at all these different magazines and generally wandering the neighborhood. Just like she did as a child.
I like how she's just like a little creepy about it. You know, she like really leans into it
for sure.
Yeah. It's like, if you get it, you get it. Like, writing's really good too.
Yeah, no, really it's good. An excellent book so far. 55 pages in so far. It was hard to put down. I was frustrated. And the 55 pages came faster for me than I think 55 pages did in any of the other books.
Yeah.
Where I really had to watch to make sure I didn't read further than. Good job, Patric.
We're excited to keep reading.
We are.
So, Yana, what's your food rating for these first set of 50-ish pages?
Trying to think.
Do you want me to go first? Because I would
love for you to go first.
I have one in mind. I thought about it.
Were you jealous that last week I prepared?
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to be prepared this week.
Only one of us can be prepared at a time.
Right. There can only be one. Lord of the Rings. Okay, sorry.
God, there goes the other special interest.
I love Lord of the Rings.
We know.
I was thinking like really good beef tartare.
Oh.
It's like a fancy, well-seasoned beef tartare. There's a little bit of risk involved, but it tastes good.
It's giving Josh's dad at the neighborhood barbecue.
That's Lights Out reference, everyone. We just read it. Check out season 7.
The one before this, whatever it is.
That's my food rating.
Okay.
What's yours?
Just based on the way I couldn't put this book down yet, I am seeing in my visions that gif of, what's his name, from Saturday Night Live, where he's eating the popcorn.
Oh.
Like, drama.
Oh,
you know, and he's just like, with the popcorn in the yellow bucket.
You don't like popcorn, though.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
My fans don't need to know everything about me.
Please, sorry.
No, I think I'm thinking like that, movie theater, or like, oh, this is so good. I'm just going to like keep popping that popcorn.
That crunch.
So maybe it's not like necessarily the taste of popcorn. It's the action of like, you know, one popcorn kernel isn't very filling. Why is my mouth watering?
I don't
so you just like, I'm like salivating.
Popcorn's so good. It's so crunchy. What's your sexy side piece book?
I just got it delivered today. The book is called Strangers. It's also a New York Times bestseller. It's a memoir of marriage.
That sounds interesting.
Belle, the author, she chronicles her 20-year marriage's sudden collapse during the pandemic and explores themes of betrayal, self-discovery, and transformation as she finds her own voice. Claire, what's your sexy side piece right now?
Well, Yana,
Yes.
thank you for asking.
You're very welcome, Clarissa.
I continued down Nevessa Allen's dark journey. I'm into the darkness with her still. I'm on Caught Up, her next book.
And are you caught up?
No, I don't really like it that much.
Unpopular opinion,
I'm so
huh?
sorry, everyone. And everyone has been like up my butt.
With a mozzarella stick?
That's for you, Nevessa.
Shut up, girl.
Because they're like, you have to listen to the audiobook. It's so much better than reading it. I think I like reading it because the voices that they have, it's just not
ridiculous?
It's not doing it for me. Like, I think the gal sounds a little robotic. And then the guy, his voice is really attractive, I will say. But then, just like Josh, right, in Lights Out, he has some, like, quirks and humor where you're like, haha. But this guy's voice is so serious that when he does those lines, you're like, hey, I don't know. And
What do you like? Sorry.
And then the story feels too expected and everything's just too perfect. It's like, I'm going to maybe spoiler a bit, maybe skip ahead like,
Yeah, I feel like I don't want to listen.
45 seconds if you're
I'll forget
reading,
this in 5 minutes.
Okay, if you're reading Caught Up, then maybe skip ahead a bit. Junior's the main character from Lights Out, her cousin. But it's like all of a sudden he's just like the hottest bitch mob cousin. And I'm like, okay, so Allie's like the most beautiful and her cousin's the most beautiful. And
It does run in the family.
they all like kinks and I don't know. It just feels like a little too much for me. And I was like, you know what? I think maybe I'm not the person for these kinds of books after all. I think I'm more of like fairy smut.
Okay.
Kind of unbelievable worlds. I get too focused on like the unrealisticness of it that it kind of ruins it for me, but I know I'm being too literal. I get the hype, and I honestly think I would enjoy it more if I read it in my brain with my voices. I think
that's
the voice,
a whole other DMS.
we're not going to...
DMS. I'm sorry, that's something I use at work. DSM-5 diagnosis.
Yeah, we're not going to go down that road right now.
Do you want me to read it out loud to you?
I also felt very dirty. Like, when I read the pages in Lights Out, I was like, fine, like, I'm an adult. And then when I'm listening to it, I'm like, wow, this is so intense. And it's not.
It's more intense than Lights Out?
No, there's nothing like knife writing. There's still stalking, of course. No, it's very like
Nevessa
standard.
likes stalking.
She does.
She
likes mask too.
Yeah. Okay. Good for you.
Yeah, let's go.
Good.
But it's spicy stuff, but it's very standard. But hearing it for some reason makes me feel like,
okay.
And then like I listened to it on the way to work, and I got into work, and I was like, I feel weird. I just walked up in here after I was listening to like leaning up on my arousal, and I'm so wet, and I was like, okay.
Just sounds like a regular Tuesday to me.
It's I don't know. My brain is processing it differently.
I have a 10-week wait at the library for it, so it's going to be a while until I catch up on Caught Up.
Oh, you're so clever. Padang-ching, everyone.
Thank you. This is the kind of stuff you get if you listen to our podcast.
They're like, unfollow.
I know, right? Like and subscribe for more contact, link below.
Thank you, Yana, for the wonderful lead-in.
I am in marketing.
We're growing the pod.
Fucking follow us.
Follow us on your favorite podcast streaming platforms. Get our book that we're reading, start little book clubs, or just
read with us.
Yeah, or just listen along. And you can send us any notes or thoughts you have. Maybe we'll read them here. You can DM us on our socials or Gmail us at
mybfbookclub@gmail.com. Hey, share us with your friends, you guys. Like, how hard is it? Just like you, I'm sure all of you have like 5 friends. And if you told those 5 friends, they could tell 5 friends. And then all of a sudden,
it's like a wildfire.
We're fighting Call Her Daddy because we're the top podcast.
Yeah.
And then we have to win an award.
Send us your 5 names and we'll keep track of them. We'll say
I'll
everyone.
keep track of them for sure. I'll find
crazy.
all of them and I will stalk them and break into their house with a mask.
So please, friends.
You're like, stop it, please.
after you follow us. Then tap that 5-star like you are relieving pressure in whatever way that means for you.
Ooh. Yeah, also weird continuation after Lights Out.
I know, Lights Out, but also it relates to
you
this
guys,
book.
you do you.
I'm so clever and I'm so literary.
And you're so skinny and beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Not that skinny is good.
No,
You are so healthy and beautiful.
My hair is so long.
It's so long.
That's all I need to hear you say.
Your height's perfect. You're perfect. Your hair's perfect.
As are you.
Thank you.
And compliment your friends, everyone.
Yeah, and send us compliments.
That's what best friends do, okay? Yep. So if nothing else, friends, we just love to read. That's why we started this podcast. We could read books and talk some shit. And we could talk about stories. So remember, keep on reading. It's like it never gets old, you know?
I'm sure it does.